Blessed love, do give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie first. Of course, you know, we welcome you into the tiger's nest. It is a joy once more as we glorify Kadamawe himself, Haile Selassie. Yes, we glorify coming up such a celebration, the talking about the 23rd day of July, such anniversary of the Earth Day of the mighty Negus and Negas, Emperor of Ethiopia. Again, welcome into the Tiger's Nest, a very special program that we have in store this evening. I definitely want to go into the mystics of the Queen Candace and the relationship to her and them as we get into it, and the heavens and the constellations and the alignment, specifically the stopping of Alexander the so-called Great, who came in and ravished Kemet, ancient Egypt, and was stopped at the first cataract by Queen Candace, as most of us would have read in the destruction of the Black civilization. So it's going to get very deep and in-depth this moment here. And as I said, we are definitely in the tiger's nest, and give thanks for the Honorable Prince Al-Masih for such graphic works and this new design here for the tiger's nest as we come in on another level. Very, very, humble tiger there. So let us ask the Most High to keep such a spirit within the realms thereof. Now, before we go to the fullness of that, what I want to do this evening, before we go to that, I definitely want to say a special congratulations to officially our first two students or scholars from our Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge homeschool, cosmic homeschool program that you hear us speak of every now and again. And we are very thankful again for our first two graduates as such, at least for this part of the course. And that is Ashaya Fibel and Eloha Daniel Fibel. And these two young princes, definitely wonderful family structure as well, for sure. Wonderful people, I'll tell you that for sure. And they went through the full course of our international homeschool, cosmic homeschool program. So we're very thankful. We're just saying congratulations here for the moment, but this is just saying congratulations, as we definitely intend to maybe do an interview with them, being the first to have completed, specifically the first to have completed our international homeschool program. So a blessed love to those young ones again, and those who will be following, because obviously there are others coming up the line. Remember, it's a program that will last maybe almost a year for sure. The way that it has been designed, and it's not heavy. The yoke is not heavy at all as it relates to the international homeschool program. As I said, the videos are sent to you each and every day in segments, 15 to 20 minutes. One or two of them maybe 30 minutes. Some of them extremely graphic. Some of them, of course, it's show and tell as such, and definitely done in a way that will excite the young ones. And special congratulations also must go out to the Honorable Prince Alamase again, and the Honorable Princess Akisha Menin, because they were definitely not only co-administrators for that full course, but also producers, and even as it relates to finding information for the presentation, they definitely did such. So they have their reward as well that will definitely be meted out to them. So I'm encouraging you still, you don't know how it go. International homeschool, classes for sure. This is something that will excite the young ones. This is something that I know for sure will benefit them. As I said, more than 160 classes over a period of 10 months. And we're talking about astronomy and African heritage specifically. And our classes are sent out every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And classes are in video form, and they appear in your inbox daily specifically. And as we say, you know, our scholars, that's what we refer to the young ones as, scholars. You know, they surprise even their parents with the material, you know, that they retain. So yes, let us give thanks for the life giver and the keeper of life in all good doings and sayings. And as I said, I would encourage you to step up on the international homeschool program. You know what to do. Just contact me, priestisaac27@gmail.com. That's priestisaac27@gmail.com. And we definitely could step on board with such a vibration. International homeschool. So congratulations again to the young ones for completing, and not only just completing, as I said, hopefully we could do an interview. I haven't requested that as yet, you know, but for sure you will see who they are definitely in the future. But an interview may be possible, and even show you again some of the works that they have done as a part of the international homeschool class. So you see for yourself even the results thereof. So congratulations again, Eloha Daniel and Ashai Fibel. Blessed love, full congratulations to you. And I'm thankful for what you have done. And it's a whole family, you know, but they have first fulfilled the task. So definitely what I wanted to go into here is the whole aspect of Queen Candace or Queen Candace, depending on how you pronounce it. Now, this little clip that I'm showing you here is from the book, The Destruction of the Black Civilization. And this has become quite popular. This has become, you know, like the photo. I love it very much, you know, as it relates to Queen Candace, Empress of Ethiopia, and General-in-Chief of its armies, waiting for Alexander the Great to cross the new borderline at the first cataract. You hear that? Alexander, having conquered Egypt easily, decided against the invasion of the ancient center of Black power and halted his army at the first cataract in 332 BC. There's a real nice history, you know, if you know the history. So basically, Alexander, after conquering the Persian Empire, came and buck up upon the Africans now, the Egyptians as such. You know, the rest is basically history. And although historians now may say 332 BC, I remember when it's 332 BC, the next year will be 331 BC. And the next year will be 330 BC. All right. And this is why, you know, I'm telling you, we love the science of astronomy, because a lot of ones use certain symbols around them to tell you exactly what was going on at what time, you know, and what age, like the Amun-Ra age, the age of Aries. And when you understand the heavens to see if it really aligns, it puts everything into full perspective. And that's what we're going to do with this program here, family. That's what we're going to do here. we're going to show where Queen Candace, and not just her or them, because it's more than just a person, stands as it relates to the heavens in relation to conquering Alexander from Macedonia when he and his flock came in to do some damage in Africa. Yes, they really looted and polluted the ancient land of Kemet. One obelisk stands in Heliopolis today. One single obelisk of 365 and maybe more of different types and forms, and there's just one there now. So that came over time, the Greeks, the Romans, and all the artifacts, and then the archaeologists, modern day thieves. So unlike when Alexander and his fellows would come and just rip it up and say, send that back home, today it's done with the PhD degree. Yes, I am Esquire here. Come to check out the tomb of Ramesses IX. Yes, okay. There's some good artifacts there, and carry them back to our museum and display them. We can take care of them, you savages. You don't know what to do. Yeah. But as it relates to Kemet, for sure, you know, it's not populated by us as such, at least not in the vast majority. So yeah, the Greeks came in and did a number. But according to Brother Chancellor Williams in his book, The Destruction of the Black Civilization, it was, according to him, Queen Candace, or Candace, who stood up and stopped him at the first cataract, very important, at the first cataract of the River Nile. And you see, why all of this is key too, you know, because when you read how the brother puts it, as he says, Queen Candace, for sure, it's not no great explanation, at least not in that book, that this is not just a name that is given to one person. So then now, a person may read the Bible and read about a Queen Candace of Ethiopia as well, the Empress of Ethiopia, who met Philip, not who met Philip, but who Philip met her ambassador, official, give thanks, who was coming from some celebration day in Jerusalem and Passover or something. And he was reading Isaiah and everything. And Philip met him and said, yeah, man, Isaiah is talking about my brethren, man. I know the man well. I on chalice with the man and thing. You know, but he was an official, as the I said, honorable, in the house or in the palace, the courts of Queen Candace of Ethiopia. So one might judge now and say, what? So this Queen Candace might be the same Queen Candace that stopped Alexander the Fake with the big elephants. No, it cannot be, because one is 332 BC, and one is, I'd assume, I mean, if the story is correct, 50-something years AD or something like that, but it's a good distance apart. All right, taking in consideration the historical reality of these stories here. Okay, good. So, without going any further into that, because we will go further into that, but I want to highlight something here, because really it's the heavens I want to deal with. And I just want to show a connection with the understanding. Now, interestingly, in fact, before we get to the heavens for real, since we are on that note thereof, as we speak of the Queen Candace, because that's the more proper pronunciation, a more ancient pronunciation is the Kandake. Kandake as well. Give thanks as well for that, honorable princess. So here she is, the Kandake queen, from Tar Seti and the ancient Sudan. Many ones would argue that the Ethiopia of the Bible, or the Kush, is more of the Sudan region and area. We did a whole program on that as well. I wouldn't want to go into that and fight that now right now, but for sure, we know the power source is the highest region. That is Ethiopia itself, the Ethiopia that we know as Ethiopia. But the point is that the ancient mama, the ancient queen, the ancient matriarch is just like the Mary. You know, that is why in the Bible you have the Miriam from the Old Testament and the Mariam from the Quran. Remember, we did a program on Mariam and we showed that the Quran Mariam, which is the sister of Moses, is the same exact person, the same story you read it, saying she shall give birth to a child called Isa, which is the same, Iasos, the same Jesus in translation. And she herself, the same Mariam, you know, the sister of Moses and Aaron and the daughter of Imran, she herself was the one that was given to Zachariah, who bare the son called John. I mean, it's a serious thing that's in the Quran. I remember we did that program. I think anyone can, if you haven't seen that program, just, you know, revisit it. It's right there on the YouTube site. Mariam and the Quran, something like that. Just type it in, it will show up. And listen to the program good, and you could see that it's something seriously esoteric taking place there. But the main point is that the name Mary or Mariam or Miriam is a title. And that's why in the New Testament, pardon me, Mary is not just the mother of Christ. You have Mary Magdalene or Mary of Magdala, and Magdala is in Ethiopia as well. Emperor Theodosius had a whole fortress at Magdala. Yeah, so you have Mary of Magdala, you know, and Mary, the sister of Salome, and and another Mary. If you read the Bible, and the other Marys and all of that. So where all the Marys come from? You know what I mean? It's not like a Hispanic community, no offense to nobody really. But so, and Maria and all of them different things there. And Maria and Marine, all of that means water, you know. So the point is Mary is a title. That's why the Buddha mother's name is Maya. She's married to, it's a title. The same way as Candace is a title, or Kandake, or how you pronounce it? Kandake. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Or Kandake is a title. So you'd find different queens throughout the whole aspect of history that would have had that title, which may have passed for a name, you know, in the same way like how the Bible may just use the name Pharaoh and fling it across the street. But of course, all right, Joe, I think we can comprehend that well. So glorify all the great mothers, because you just there and the mighty elephant, man, just stopping the clown thingy coming in, and she saved the rest of Africa, man, at the borders. So this is the borders here. The first cataract we get here. That's the first cataract of the Nile. You know, where the Nile specifically take a shift. And interesting, that's where the border of Kemet and Nubia, ancient Kemet and Nubia was. See it here? Ancient Egypt, ancient Nubia, ancient Kemet, ancient Nubia. And at the same time, this is the first cataract, the line that aligned with the first cataract. That is 24 degrees north. What did I say, family? 24 degrees north. That is the line of the first cataract. All right, now watch this good. So it's right here. What's the cataract? Not like in your eye, really. Again, that's where the River Nile would take a massive shift. You would find drops and you would find waterfalls, massive waterfalls, especially in those regions there. Somewhere around there, they build the Aswan Dam today. They dam the whole place up, you know. Yeah, pardon the language. Yeah. So I'm just saying here, this is very important. So she stopped him at the borders. So whatever he was doing up here and kicking up and let's run down here. Yeah, he couldn't go no more. He ran into the woman with the elephant. He said, what's going on here? Look at them big elephants there. He and his horse. The horse must have buckled under them. I said, no, man. Yeah. The horse turned Mr. Ed and then start to talk and say, you expect us to you ever see Mr. Ed? Yeah, man, I share Mr. Ed already, man. Mr. Ed is an old time show. Those of you who are not au fait with Mr. Ed, that's I think is the first talking animal on TV, Mr. Ed, man. I watched whole heap of Mr. Ed as I use. Wow, Mr. Ed. They say it's peanut butter they put in the horse mouth, man. So it looked like he talking, you know. But just like the donkey in the Bible, that see the angel and had to tell the man, yo, you crazy. You expect me to go, you know, see what the man have in his hand. See who? What are you talking about? You know, what are you talking about? How come you talking? You know, is this, and the man talk back to the donkey and have a conversation with the donkey. So it's the same way I could imagine. But the point is, the horses, I would imagine, would be scared to the point that they would buckle under the Greeks, the Alexander soldiers and them. They would buckle. You know, see the size of them elephants here. They would buckle. They check it. Yeah. That's how Babylon stay now. They invade, they can't handle the animals, they kill them out. That's why you don't see them kind of gigantic elephants in no massive vibes today. But they're there, a few of them there, they're there. The African elephants, no matter what animal Africa has in, it's always bigger than the animal anywhere else. The African elephant, bigger than the Indian and the China elephant. The African, we call the thing the lion. They have lions all the place, eh? Yeah, bigger than those two. Anything Africa produce, down to the food, anything else. Yeah, so give thanks again. So the important point is now, the first cataract is what latitude again? 24 degrees north. That's very important. Because remember, we're dealing with science now. This is a holy thing, you know. This is something spiritual happening here. This is something that is aligning with the heavens. Nature now shows you for sure that if you look at that, the border was at an indentation in nature. This is a very important point, family. Listen to me good. Meaning that there was a question, we mentioned this already. There was a question on that quiz show one evening. Which two United States are the only states that does not have a straight line in its borders? And it was Hawaii, which is a set of islands. I can't remember what it was. Which one?
Did you say Dakota?
Dakota, I'm not sure. Was it, which state is the only state? I'm saying which two states, but maybe it's which state, you know, and the only state too that doesn't have a straight line in its border. And it might be Hawaii. Not might, it was, Hawaii was definitely in the answer, and the answer may be Hawaii itself. Okay, which state? Okay, which state? Yeah, the prince says which state, the question was. But my point is Hawaii is a set of islands. So all the other 50 whatever states that the US have, all of them have at least one straight line, a straight line for a border. All of them mostly is straight lines, polygons and all kind of things to make up, right? Squares, rectangles, all kind of things. The point I'm making here is that in nature, a border is determined. Nothing wrong with borders, you know, to understand and separation of peoples and culture and vibes. But nature is the one that separated or provided the borders. So a river would become a border. A mountain range would become a border. A lake would become a border. A valley would become a border. The cataract in the Nile is the natural border. That's why she went there to meet him, to make him know, hey, you can't pass here, you know, man. So you better change your mind. All right. Now, interestingly, let us get back to the heavens now. Because the heavens declare, and before we go up in the heavens, I want to make sure we comprehend where we are going. Now, from this diagram here, I think most of us, for sure, have a good comprehension of the movements of the planet Earth and in relation to its alignments with the sun and how the moon moves around the earth and the apparent movements. This is something that we speak of from time to time. Really, you would have to be someone who just joining us to would want us to, you know, give a quick review. Well, that's a lot of things there. But for sure, from the basic comprehension that we have, the earth revolves, rotates and revolves, moves around the sun. And of course, the whole creation and the tilt of obliquity, which is 23.5 degrees. Very important. Very important. The tilt of obliquity, very important, is 23.5 degrees. Extremely important to the discussion. So the heavens, all you have to do is penetrate the heavens as if it is a ball around you. All you have to do is penetrate the movements of the heavens as if planet Earth is a ball inside of a bigger ball, and you're looking at the stars as if they're like dots on a ceiling. You understand? And then now you have a better comprehension. Of course, that's not what it is, but that's the impression that you get. I definitely am not going to hold no breaks and argue with no one who has a different outlook than that, but for sure, let's just deal with this. So at the same time now, when you observe it on that level, you could give the heavens a celestial equator. You could do what? You could give the heavens a celestial equator, because there's a terrestrial equator on the planet Earth. The Earth has an equator. You see it here? The Earth equator is here. So if you just superimpose this out into the heavens, bam, and it hits the heavens, it hits the walls of the heavens, that's your celestial equator. You follow me? That's very easy to catch it. So the celestial equator actually lines up with the terrestrial equator. It's just like a big circle that goes. Now, of course, the sky is the limit, so there's no roof for it to hit in. It's not like you're inside of a dome or something and you bang, bang, and it can't go no more. No, that's not what it is at all, you know. But of course, the stars in the heavens now paint a picture. Now, remember, the stars are not next to each other. Some stars are light years away from the other star that appears as if it's next to the star. That's how it looks, and the heavens is full of stars. You comprehend? So there's this apparent background that you're working with. So you just draw the line through the background, and there you have your celestial equator. But it's not just about drawing line in. The celestial equator, pardon me, does celestial equator work. And we will get into some of that before we're done tonight. Remember, it's Queen Candace, we bigging up here. Big time. All right. Now, and as you can see, it's history and astronomy together. That's what the international homeschool is all about. You know, our students know what we're talking about here. Eloa and ARCHAE know exactly what we're talking about. If they're sitting and they're watching here with their family and everyone watching, they know they can follow proper, because we go through a lot of understanding as it relates to this. This is obviously the astronomy, and we just did some history a while ago. If you check it, and we got into astronomy, and before we're done, we're going to blend the astronomy and the history together. So just like you have ARCHAEOASTRONOMY, you know we creating history astronomy. Yeah, so we have established the celestial equator. All right, now again, the angle of 23.5 degrees. The constellations that lie on this elliptic, which is it's an elliptic, but it's called the ecliptic. It's mystic, just follow me good. These are the zodiac belt constellations that are on the ecliptic. The ecliptic really is the elliptic of the sun. So the sun appears to go on this pathway. Please follow me. The sun appears to go on the pathway that is related to the 23.5 degree difference between the celestial equator and the ecliptic, which is the pathway of the sun. They are 23.5 degrees in angle as it relates to their difference. Nothing hard to understand. Why this is so is because the Earth now, just like how they show you on a globe, how the globe has that tilt. The Earth now, each planet has a tilt. Some planets are on their side. Which planet there has been looking like is Uranus? Yeah. Yes. Some planets are on their side. You know, I think Saturn, one of these planets are almost standing straight up. Cannot remember which one it is. Yeah, Uranus. Uranus is on his side. But now you have Earth is at a 23.5 degree angle. All planets are not at a 23.5 degree angle. Planet Earth is at a 23.5 degree angle. So again, it creates now a celestial equator that has a 23.5 degree angle to the pathway of the sun. So what happens here when the Earth is observing the sun because of that whole angle there? The sun itself would appear to go north and appear to go south. So in the summer, around the time of June, the sun is at its most northern point, right up here. And then in December, the sun is at its most southern point down here. This is the science, really. And then during the time of March, the sun is in this, what is called, it's similar to a node. What? A node. So in other words, this is where the celestial equator, this is very important there, family. This is where the celestial equator actually meets the ecliptic, right here. And the constellations that are here, these represent the constellations of what is known as the equinoxes. So when the sun is here or over here, that is an equinox. You have spring equinox, that means the day is equal with the night. And you have fall equinox, again, that means the day is equal with the night. All right, in the summer, the sun is way to the north, at least the northern hemisphere summer, the sun is way to the north. And in the so-called winter, the sun is way to the south. And all of this is because of the tilt of the Earth and how it spins, and specifically in relation to the celestial equator. All right, now, maybe I didn't have to go through all of that, but I think anyone who loves information would at least appreciate, love that. But here is where I want to carry you now. So with that, with what I just said, hopefully that you would have comprehended that to the fullest. Let us go to what was taking place in the heavens during the time when Alexander the Great was coming into Egypt in the heavens. Now, we are, if you notice, you have the date here. This is 332 BC. And I purposely placed it at the time of the summer solstice. That was my purpose doing. Okay, before we go to the depths of this, what I'm going to do, this sky map here or software, once again, is Stellarium. If you look, you see the beautiful Orion here. For those who may not be able to check it out, you could also see it when we utilize the art form. Here you see Orion, the great hunter, as they call it. That one looked like the hunter, but because that is not Sahu. From you put on these pictures, they change to all sorts of different things. Because this is Gemini, as you could see. These are two little boys that they have there. But that just makes it easier for you to see. But when you take it away, you can see Gemini. This is a female. She's highlighted by her hips. You see her there? And this is the male. Very important constellation to what we're going to talk about now. Again, this is Pollux, they call her this thing, but Pollux is a boy in the Greek mythology, and Castor, another boy in the Greek mythology. So when we consider that, we look at the whole aspect again, that this is really is Hu and Sa. And the Hu is a male and the Sa is a female here, and the hips. So when you see the moon between Sa's legs here, it's like she's giving birth to the moon. It's a lot of nice science as it relates to the constellations, Hu and Sa. All right, so please follow me, good family. I really want you to comprehend the levels that I'm carrying this discussion. So this is where the sun is here now. This is a time of, again, around the summer solstice in that time of 332 BC. And what I want you to observe is that the sun itself is at its most highest point as it relates to its position in the ecliptic belt, meaning that it does not go any further north. So where I just showed you a moment ago, as it relates to the sun at the 21st day of June. In fact, hold on, let me show you again, because I want to make sure we comprehend what we are saying here. Once again, just check this out. The sun itself, every day when the sun rises, it moves just a bit more to the north. Every day to the north, to the north, to the north. And then on the 21st day of June, it's at its most northern point. And then after that, it moves a little bit to the south, to the south. Every day you see it rise up, it goes a little bit to the south. Whether you can detect it or not, it goes a little bit to the south, a little bit to the south. And then by the time in December, 6 months away, it's all the way to the south. But in September, it's going to be in the middle, especially if you live in the tropics. It's going to be in the middle, rising on the equator itself, because it's on the celestial equator at that time. Very important right here. Celestial equator, still, of course, in the ecliptic belt. All right, good. So let's return back to the heavens now. So I'm showing you where the sun is here on the 21st day of June, right here. It's at its most northern point in the ecliptic belt. So it will not go higher than this point here. All right. Now on planet Earth, you have something that is called the Tropic of Capricorn and the Tropic of Cancer. These tropics are basically lines of latitude. They end the tropics. The tropics is the area of the planet Earth that the sun directly goes over. Please follow me good. So the Tropic of Capricorn is at 23.5 degrees south. Wherever that line is, that's where the Tropic of Capricorn ends. The Tropic of Cancer is at 23.5 degrees north. Wherever that ends, it ends. And the equator in the middle. You follow that? We should have put a map of the world up there, but I think you can pick it up. In fact, yeah, man, we have a map of the world right here. Bam, look, the map of the world. All right. So the Tropic of Capricorn, you know, the equator would be somewhere here. It's the equator line. And of course, even the greenery of Africa somewhat can highlight the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. You see the vibration. Oh, give thanks. Good. Fair enough. And interestingly, Both tropics are at what degree? 23.5 degree as far as latitude, you know, as far as latitude. But the Earth is at a 23.5 degree tilt as far as angles. You get that? It's because of the 23.5 degree tilt and the angle. The 23.5 degree angle is what caused the 23.5 degree latitude of the tropics of Capricorn and Cancer. Because the sun does not go above 23.5 degree. The sun does not go below 23.5 degree. Why? Because the sun is on an ecliptic belt that is 23.5 degree difference as it relates to angle to the celestial equator. I know you're following me. I know you got to be following me. You're there with me. All right. You just have to make sure that you can comprehend this science so that you leave the discussion saying, yeah, I get the point. I'm not trying to make it sound too heavy and too hard and too deep and wow, it's not too much in a wow thing, you know. But we have time for those who want to understand. I could have run it off quick. I could have do it in 10 minutes. But this is a different vibes, man. Yeah. All right. So, of course, you have altitude and right declination as it relates to position of stars. But basically, it's latitude and longitude. So without making it any level of complication at all, what I want to highlight to you is this. Now, when we create the coordinates of the heavens, this is the coordinates, again, latitude and longitude, because basically it's the same thing. When we create the coordinates, I want you to watch this good. Remember, we have Gemini here, and we have the sun here, and we have Mercury just above the sun. What's going on here? This is the 21st day of June, as I said, 333 BC. Okay, interesting year. What's going on at that time? Alexander is invading Egypt. Oh, all right. So what do I have to do with this? Well, Alexander, when he invaded Egypt, well, he did a number in Egypt. But going southwards to see if he could go further into the, the deeper part of the land, he was stopped by a mighty queen, Queen Candace, same 332, the Kandake, and massive elephants. You ever see the picture? Massive elephants, man. And he couldn't face her. Now, it happened at the first cataract. And the first cataract is at 24 degrees north as it relates to the latitude on planet Earth. What I'm saying, family, is this. The celestial equator, that's 0 degrees in the heavens. The terrestrial equator, that's 0 degrees on planet Earth. So in other words, 10 degrees on planet Earth, latitude 10 degrees, aligns with 10 degrees in the heavens. 15 degrees on planet Earth, north, south, whatever, align with the corresponding 15 degrees in the heavens. Simple vibes. Remember, it's an expansion. It's almost an imaginary bigger ball. See, it look like a ball. Look at everything here. Let me show you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. It's going down into the southern hemisphere. You see, it has to come down like a ball. Let me make the Earth disappear here. Bam. See, that's why you have the southern celestial pole, because it's looking like a ball, because we are on what appears to be a ball as such, not a perfect sphere, you know, but yet still definitely not flat. So the heavens create this, what appears to be a ball-like atmosphere. I didn't want to hit that not flat thing so hard, but it just had to come out. So. And then now this is why you see the northern celestial pole as well. It's as if it has an apex, this circular, spherical vibration around us. That's the idea that you get from it when you understand or you comprehend the heavens. Okay, this has become an astronomy class here. Very good, nothing wrong, give thanks. And yeah, so what is taking place here now, you see that, watch it good. Let me just show you the vibes. You see, so it's 1:14 according to this time. You know, you could just work with the time frame and, you know, move the heavens as such and see where the sun would be at a specific time. All right. This is not the time, this is the date. Follow me, family, follow me. So we had the 18th of June, 17th of June, 16th of June, 15th of June, 14th of June, 13th of June, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Ah, beautiful. If you notice, on the 7th of June, the sun is perfectly in between the constellation of Gemini. It's just wonderful, very wonderful. 6th of June, 5th of June, 3rd, bam, 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 bam. Yeah. So what is nice about this software, you can just follow and see exactly where the heavens was at what time. Now, this year, very interesting, you know, very interesting. You got to look into a lot of different things when it comes to astronomy. For example, you see where the moon is here. Now, the moon has a different ecliptic than the sun. The moon, all the planets have their own ecliptic. So they all are not on the ecliptic belt as such. All the planets' ecliptic basically goes through the zodiac belt constellation, but their elliptic, meaning the path that they go on, has a slightly different angle. So they're not all 23.5 degrees. So mystically, you see the moon here. Sometimes the moon actually has an angle that varies. So the moon can go as far as almost 28 degrees north and can go as low as 20 or can go as low as 18 degrees north, you know, when it is at its highest point. And that means it fluctuates. The sun doesn't do that. And so does the other planets too. So it's a science. You have to understand even that level of the science when it talks about the heaven declaring the glory of God, when it's talking about understanding how the heavens speak. It's not just, you know what I mean, you were born on this day and the moon is the Mars and Mercury is in retrograde. People like that retrograde talking. It's like a big talk now. Oh, the sun is not the sun, it can't be the sun. Mars is in retrograde. I mean, I'm not dissing nobody. Yeah, man, this is some deep thing we're dealing with here. But anyway, the reason why I'm doing all of this is just to give you an idea of the dynamics of what's going on in the heavens, specifically at the time when Alexander was invading Egypt, specifically at the time when he was stopped by Queen Candace. All right. Now I'm saying this is basically at the brink of the Pisces age. I would believe at this time you are like halfway feeding of 50% of the Pisces age and 50% of the previous age. You may say, how are you talking about? What, and how did you understand that? Well, you see, it depends on where the sun is on the 21st day of June. Now, this is the sun at its apex. If you were totally in the center of the Pisces age, the sun would be right between the constellation of Gemini, you know? So it's making its way towards Gemini. And because it's actually in between Gemini and Cancer. This is Cancer over here. Let me bring up the picture so you can see for those who may be having a little problem. So you see Cancer here. And you see Gemini here. To me, this distorts everything. That's me personally. You see Gemini here. So the sun is basically in between of both of them at its highest point. You understand? So that means in the next 500 years, the sun, 1,000 years, whatever, the sun should actually be in between both of them. In fact, let me just give you a quick preview here. Let me see how I could do this. Bam. Okay, you see, this is 1,332. Same date, everything. And if you notice, the sun is now actually inside of the constellation of Gemini. So that's like 1,000 years after, or something like that, or more, 1,600 years after. But for sure, this is at the peak of the Pisces age, because this is the summer, this is the day of summer. And the sun is in the middle, smack, well, not smack in the middle. It'll be smack in the middle maybe in the next 500 years when it's right here. This is a deep science, man. This is very, very important, you know. But if we return now to the date at hand, which is very important, 332 BC. This is where the sun is. Now, it's not the constellation I'm really concerned about. I'm just trying to show the family. I know we're going deep into it, but you don't know when you sit down with me, just make up your mind to go through the science. This is where the sun is at in its highest point. All right, good. I'm bringing you a little closer so you could, pardon me, so you could comprehend what's going on. Now, if you look good, you'll see here, 25 degrees, and you see 20 degrees. All right, just for a little more clarity, because I just want you to see for yourself exactly where the sun is. So you could see for yourself, bam, 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 that on the 21st day of June, the sun is here 23.5 degrees. Okay. Then you have Mercury just above it there. Where are we here? Just checking out. Yes. Mercury just above what appears to be the 25-degree line. All right. Now, why I'm showing you that again is because that is very important when it relates to the science of the heavens declaring the glory, because that's what's going on in the heavens. The sun during that time is actually in between, well, not in between Gemini, but at that time you could see the sun at its highest point, representing the peak of summer, and Mercury just above it at the 25-degree line. And I find that very important, because in between both of these powerful planets, or stars and planets, I'm talking about the sun on the 23.5-degree line and Mercury on the 25-degree line. Right in between them is obviously the 24th degree line. The 24th degree line of the heavens align with the 24th degree line of planet Earth. And on the 24th degree line on planet Earth is where you have the first cataract of the Nile. So, in other words, when you observe the area where Alexander the Great, as he's called, met the Queen of Ethiopia, the literal first cataract, the line of latitude is perfectly aligned with the line of latitude in the heavens, where the sun was, and at its highest point, I would say in the constellation of Gemini, because that's where it's going towards. And above it, you could see for yourself Mercury in the heavens. Now, what I'm saying is that the heavens declare the glory. And in the same way that one would say that the pyramids were built. See, the pyramids were built to align with the Orion belt. Okay, they look like the Orion belt, constellation belts, the Pyramid of Giza. So that is I and I coming together and putting that in formation. In the same way that that is done, history manifesting itself also aligned with what is taking place in the heavens. That is why in the heavens now, remember the Bible says, and Michael and the devil made war in the heavens over Moses' body or something. But it says that they were war in the heavens. And that's why when you look through the whole zodiac belt, it's like war. You see Sagittarius with his bow ready to hit the serpent or Scorpio. You see the serpent holder standing on the scorpion and holding the snake, and Hercules with his sword drawn ready to chop off his neck. You know, that is in the sky. And that is what the scriptures say. And there was war in the heavens. Orion has his sword out and his shield before the bull. Again, there was war in the heavens. You understand? So we see the war in the heavens. And it's mimicking, obviously, the war on the earth. So the heavens, when you understand the heavens, this is my point. When you can comprehend how the heavens move, that's why we took a lot of time to explain that a moment ago. I couldn't feel comfortable just coming and dropping that and run. This is not the entertainment show. This is, let's learn something fresh today. So I'm saying what was happening in the heavens, astronomically, is connected to exactly what was happening in the earth. Because remember, you know, Gemini, the twin, they take the woman out and try and make it to another man. You check it. They take it, they try to erase the woman out of that mystically. When a woman now was the one that defended the rest of Africa from Mr. Alexander the Greek. You check it. So if you see this line right here, in fact, let me show you this one here, family. If you see that line right there, see it here, the first cataract, that is the area where you actually have the sun. So if you connect it, the sun would have been right here. You know, I mean, some other time it goes down, come up, but if that, they're just following the timeline, this is the sun at its highest point. Now, that may not have been the exact date when all of this happened. Some historians say it was in autumn, you know, but the point is that this is the highest region where the sun goes. And look at this, man. This is the point I was making, that the sun would have been here and Mercury would have been here. You check it. That's the vibes. The sun would have been here and Mercury would have been here. If this was the same time frame that this would have happened. You understand? And I wouldn't doubt it. Because what I am saying now is that the astronomical clock, okay, look at it this way. You see the same way that archaeologists come to their conclusion of things. They use carbon-14. They use something else, some kind of dust and all kind of thing, and dip it in a mineral and see what color it turns, and then tell you, oh, this is 500 years old. This is 600 years old. You know, some other levels of archaeologists and Egyptologists would go and they try to decipher the hieroglyphs. Some other fella gonna decipher the cuneiform and guess their way out and give you a precise date and say, yeah, the Olmec calendar was started in the 13th of August, 3114 BCE. I'm not denying that, but they use whatever calculations. It took a time for them to figure it out. I'm saying, give respect to the astronomer, because the heavens do declare the glory. That's what I'm saying. Give respect to the astronomer, because to be honest, even to sit and to figure this out is a mystic thing, to really sit and calculate it and say, but wait, when Queen Candace was conquering that fella there, the area where she conquered him at actually aligned with the area, you know what I'm saying, where the sun is at its highest point. I said, what? And not only that, because the sun does not go to 24. Remember, she stopped him at 24. So that means she had to have been a little bit in front of 24. She was at 23.5 degrees. That's where Queen Candace was, because he didn't buck up on her. It's like at distance, he see the thing from and say, what? Yeah. So he had to hold bricks. And remember, Mercury was above the 24 and the 25. Yo, that's so let's put it this way then. If I was to write that like a prophet in the Bible, I would say, and when Queen Candace came to the junction in the Nile, a mighty angel appeared and another archangel on the side, and stood above the first cataract of the Nile, just so the Bible writing. It stood above the threshing floor, stood above the first cataract of the Nile, and Alexander, his heart melted and waxed cold within him. And even the horses trembled at the presence at the angel Mercury. That's why them Roman gods and Greek gods give them names. You understand? It's the same thing. Joshua stopped the sun. What I show you there, you could have said Queen Candace stopped the sun, and Mercury stood in the valley of wherever she was standing up. It's the same vibration. That's how you decode it. You know. So I know for sure. I'm not saying we know everything at all. Far from it. The more you know is the more you realize you don't know. But I know for sure I have a little understanding when it comes to this. And it's obvious that where she is on the planet, that's why I took the time at the beginning to break down actually little science, and that was just a quick crash course as usual. But we have books where we go in depths. We have The Heavens Declare the Glory. For those who do not have a copy of The Heavens Declare the Glory, get a copy of The Heavens Declare the Glory. You know, even Anu, Ancient and Modern, give you a good idea of the importance of the connections of the spiritual and the physical. Remember, you could get all of these documentaries here on the Amazon, or documents, I should say, on Amazon, along with even the book, The True Biblical Land of Israel. For sure, you could definitely get that on the Amazon as well. So yeah, man, as I said, we glorify the great Queen Candace, and this is another one here. You know this one here. This is she's honoring the great god, look like Raharakate, according to the headgear, or Sokar, one of them great gods there.
Yeah.
Yes, she's honoring and giving praises as the same Queen Candace there. Definitely. Queen Makeda, the term Makeda comes from the same Candace as well. All of that is of the same power and the same energy. So yeah, man, give thanks, because as I said, the heavens declare the glory. So you can say she made the sun stand still, man. And Mercury, stood in the valley over the first cataract. Yeah, man, put it down that way, because that's what it is. That's how we write our history. using the metaphor and using the allegory, but it's just for those with the astronomical mind. Astronomy is very important. You know, it's the first science. They say that the Sumerians invent this and invent that. Is definitely the first science of understanding when it relates to that. All right, make sure you definitely subscribe to the Shock of the Hour. Definitely make sure you get your chalwa, of course. And of course, the Shock of the Hour, we're definitely doing it. Give thanks for those who contacted us even when we were off of this platform here for a moment and took their 1 week free trial of the Shock of the Hour. You know, enough respect for such and blessed love to all those. Bless up the man and the thumb and all like-minded ones. Give thanks for your presence. But of course, just contact us precise27@gmail.com and become a part of the Shock of the Hour subscription team. And as I said, all those documents I spoke of earlier, you could just check them out on Amazon and you could make your payments there. And for sure, remember, you should definitely be a part of the International Homeschool Cosmic classes for sure. And definitely, you know, your youth will make you proud and you will make them proud too. Yes. So definitely give thanks. Life giver and the keeper of life. Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. It's a love.